Hi, I'm Paula Steele and today we're going to look at cutting strips for your quilting projects. Hi, so looking at the very basics that you need, so if you've not done cutting before, a quick look at what you'll need. You'll need a rotary cutter, a self-healing cutting mat and a patchwork ruler. So for the rotary cutter, I use a 45mm rotary cutter. That's kind of the medium size, works for cutting my strips and everything else. I only go to a smaller one when I'm doing curved lines. You really want to make sure you have a safety lock. You need to keep it closed when you're not using it. Second is a self-healing cutting mat. You're looking for one with inches. Most patchwork is in inches, so that's why sometimes you might use the ruler to cut and sometimes you're using the mat, so you just want to make sure that you've got the possibility of using the mat to cut, especially for longer strips. Try and get one that's kind of the biggest you can get for the space that you've got and the budget that you've got as well, because they can get expensive, but you'll never regret having a big cutting mat. In terms of patchwork rulers, lots of shapes and sizes. My starting one would be, if I could only have one, I'd have one that was 24 inches long by about 6.5 inches wide. That would be a really good starting point for cutting most things. Okay, so let's cut some strips. First things, we want to square off the edge. So we're going to line up a line on against the selvage edge at the bottom of the ruler and then just cut a little bit away. You don't want to cut too much because you really don't want to waste fabric. But this makes sure that we've got a really nice straight edge to start with. Okay, so I'm now right-handed, so I'm going to flip it over. I always like to have the ruler covering the piece of fabric that I'm going to be using. So take my ruler again and I'm going to count out 2.5 inches and line that up with that nice straight edge that we've already cut. So you can see now I've made sure that's really nicely lined up. Counted 2.5 just to make sure. This ruler's got a 1/2 inch at the edge, so that's why that works that way. And then yeah, one nice clean move up through the strip and that's your strip cut. And again, I need 2 for this pattern, so I'm just going to line up the 2.5 again and then cut from the bottom up to the top. Doesn't really matter if I start from the selvage edge or the other edge, it's fine because we squared off, so we know that that's a nice straight edge. So there you go, really quick and simple to cut some nice strips, and now I can just pop my fabric away.